All right, fired up, ready to go. Let's go ahead and talk about collecting your business information. Let's keep this momentum going. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is talk to you about, hey, before you submit your business phone number to the registration committee to go ahead and get approved, it's going to be very important to make sure that you have all of your business information documents together in one place. So that way, when it comes time to actually submit your A2P registration for the first time, you're knocking it out from the first shot without getting rejected. Okay, so the most important business document that you're going to need for the purposes of the A2P registration is going to be your original EIN letter from the IRS. Okay, so what happens is that when you register with the IRS, okay, now some of you are like, hey, I'm a sole prop, I'm not registered with the IRS. Don't worry, we'll get to that in just a second. But for a lot of you, when you register with the IRS, they send you an EIN letter for your corporation. Okay, so the EIN is similar to what the social security number is for a normal individual, right? So they send you that EIN letter, and on that EIN letter is going to be the original name of your corporation, okay, as well as the address for the corporation and all of that. Now, we urged you to go ahead and make sure, and we covered the importance of saving those documents when we were talking about creating your business bank account and all of that stuff. This is why we're going ahead and letting you know, yo, you got to make sure you have this document. And the reason why you have to make sure you have this document is because when the registration committee, the TCR committee, is going in and approving your registration, what they are doing is, because remember, they are a government entity, they have access to the records from the IRS. They're going to look up the records from the IRS, and they're going to check, hey, what is the name on file, right? What is the actual address on file? And it is going to be critical for you to make sure that whatever name is on your original EIN letter is exactly to the exact abbreviation, punctuation, commas, dashes, has to match exactly what is on the IRS letter. If it does not, then what's going to happen is they're going to have to do a further investigation to say, hey, you know what? It doesn't match exactly. Is this a different company? Is it the exact same company, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff there. And so that's going to delay or even reject your application if it does not match exactly what is on the IRS letter. Okay, so that is the reason why we're going ahead and prepping you to make sure that you go ahead and have this ahead of time, so that way your registration process goes as smoothly as possible. Now, don't worry. In typical fashion, as we do here, is over delivery. The question you might have is, hey, what if I don't have that original letter? Don't worry. It's super easy to go ahead and get a replacement. That form that you're looking for, that letter, is called, in the IRS's terms, it's called the 147C letter from the IRS. It is easy to request a replacement. On the screen right now, you will see that we have a screenshot that we got from the internet in terms of how you can actually request a letter from that. Okay, now you can actually get this within probably like 2 hours if you just call the IRS, depending on the wait times and all that kind of stuff. And you can actually just request them to perhaps fax you a copy of that immediately, so that way you don't even have to wait in the mail. And if you're wondering like, hey, who has a fax machine nowadays? Yes, I agree with you. The government, bodies are a little bit behind there, but don't worry. There's plenty of resources that outline how you can actually set up what is known as an electronic fax service using your email. So if you just go ahead and Google that or YouTube that, you are going to go ahead and find that. And hey, if you need additional support, this is exactly why there is no guru on the mountain here with all the answers. We are a community and we're all learning from each other. We're all helping each other. And all we are doing as the training creation providers is we're saying, hey, cool, let's just see what the community has learned. Let's see what all of the amazing people in the community are doing, what they are struggling with. And then we just compile all of that and create the trainings and provide that here, right? But all of the most up-to-date learnings, all of the most cutting edge things that are going on are happening inside of the community, not in these trainings. These trainings are literally just the aftermath of all the learning that actually happens inside of the community. So if you do end up running into struggles with that, make sure you are reaching out to the community, but you are able to go ahead and get that original EIN letter from the IRS, okay? Now, the other question would be for some of you is, what if I'm a sole prop and I never actually registered with the IRS? Of course, if you are a sole prop, then you probably never registered with the IRS. You're just going ahead and using your SSN number. If that is the case, then you do not have to worry about having that EIN letter, because what's going to happen is that in the upcoming training section, we're going to be walking you through how there's a completely different registration process, very similar, but a little bit different for sole props specifically. Now, I want to make this clear. If you are a corporation or an LLC, you're not going to be able to use that process that the sole props are going to use. Only the people who are sole props can use that process, okay? So if you're an LLC, this doesn't apply to you, right? You're going to have to go through and get the EIN letter. But for those people who are sole props, there is going to be some pro tips that we have for you that are going to allow you to do this without having that EIN letter, okay? So this, ladies and gentlemen, has been the training in terms of making sure you collect your business information before we actually get to the registration process. What's going to happen next is we're going to continue this process. We got a whole bunch of other steps that we got to go through so that way you can make sure that you get approved for the first time. Fingers crossed, that is what we're going ahead and walking you through. Remember, we're in the training, we're walking through each of the individual training sections. You are doing a phenomenal job. Success doesn't find you, you have to go out and get it. I'm telling you right now, your dedication as you go through these trainings is paying off. Stay strong, keep on moving forward. This has been Collecting Your Business Information. We will catch you in the next training section.